That's the opening bell on Wall Street. Farmer Mac has the honor today. The company helps with access to financing for American agricultural and rural infrastructure and is hosting an investor day later this afternoon. Very cool. Let's take a live look at the markets at the open of today's trading. The Dow is looking down slightly at the start. Joining us now is Megan Leonhardt. She's a senior writer for Barron. It's always good to have you, Megan. So you've been reporting that the price of oil has actually started to drop in the last 24 hours. What's going on?
Well, let's be honest. The oil prices are so incredibly volatile. If I tell you this moment they're up, I think I'd be made a liar in the very next minute. But it is looking like prices are kind of hovering around that $100, $110 mark. And that is, of course, driving up prices at the pump for everyday Americans. I think the price today is somewhere in the $3.84 range. And when you consider that we were less than $3 a month ago, it's a little painful these days for most of us.
And Megan, NVIDIA just announced a deal to sell AI chips to China. I know that there's been a lot of debate about whether or not American companies should be providing China with technology that will help them with AI. What's the reaction to this news that we've seen so far?
Well, I think there's the sort of political reaction and there's the market reaction. I do think for investors, it is important that we have some positive news for, the kind of pipeline for growth and revenue for NVIDIA. So I think for investors, this is a good sign. It certainly, can't hurt given the, really wobbliness of AI tech stocks in the last couple of months. But when it comes to the political side of things, yes, this does create some challenges. This has obviously been a flashpoint in the past between U.S. and China relations. So expect this to sort of come up potentially, in and around those deal-making sessions that we're expecting.
So we've been talking about Fed Day, which is today, but the board's decision, as you know, is expected in a few hours. And in your latest piece, you posed the question of whether we could see Powell's last stand, which I really love. Break down for our viewers what you mean.
So, we're having the meeting today. It's Powell's penultimate meeting that he's slated to be as sort of Fed chair. We do have the nominee Kevin Warsh up to bat. Obviously, we haven't gone through that confirmation process yet, but we're expecting that to, kind of take shape in the next couple of months. And, this is kind of an interesting time for the Fed and for Powell in particular. He's really got to kind of really bring people together. And, there's a lot of conflicting views right now on the Fed. So it'll be interesting to see what he says in the meeting today. I think we're very much watching how much he signals that the Fed is going to be looking through that oil surge that I was talking about. Normally, this is sort of a temporary thing. Fed officials say, they're not going to really change rate policy based on this. But given that we've been above the Fed's 2% target for, nearly 5 years now, and we have a number of officials who are very concerned about rising inflation, that is something worthwhile and something that could kind of change the calculus on this.
And Megan, completely off topic, we were just talking with Mark Strassman about that meteor that was flying through the sky in parts of the country. We heard you have a connection to it. Please explain.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually grew up in Medina, Ohio, so I'm officially, getting lots of text and phone calls from friends and family sitting there talking about the sonic boom that they heard, and certainly lots of videos being shared and flown around, but you don't get every day where Medina makes national news.
That's so cool. Well, except every time you have a byline, Megan.
Well, Megan, can you please put out the all call to your friends and family in Medina to track down where this thing landed? We would love some video. Because surely people are out there looking for it.
I hope so. And
unless it all burned up, we don't know.
And if there's a baby Superman running around out there, let us know too.
Will do.
Megan, thank you as always, friend. Appreciate you.